Have you ever stopped and wondered how doctors can get these incredibly detailed pictures from deep inside your body? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on one of the most amazing pieces of medical technology out there, the MRI. Just look at this image of a human brain. I mean, the detail is just stunning, right? You can see every little fold and structure. But here's the wild part. Unlike an X-ray or a CT scan, this picture was made with zero, and I mean zero, ionizing radiation.
So that's the big question, isn't it? If it's not radiation, how on earth can a giant magnet take a picture of what's inside of us? It really does sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but the answer is just some seriously clever physics.
To really get how this works, we first have to talk about what our bodies are made of. You see, the real secret to MRI isn't in the machine itself. It's actually already inside every single one of us. That's right, the secret ingredient is water. Your body is about 70% water. And, as you probably know, every single water molecule has hydrogen atoms. And that is where the magic of MRI really starts. And hiding inside every one of those hydrogen atoms is the real star of our show today, a tiny little particle called a proton.
The best way to think about these protons is to imagine them as trillions upon trillions of microscopic compass needles. Because they have a positive charge and they're always spinning, each one creates its own tiny little magnetic field. Your body is literally buzzing with them.
So, okay, how does the MRI machine take all those little compasses and turn them into a picture? Well, the whole process, as complicated as it seems, really just boils down to a simple three-step game plan. Align, tip, and listen. All right, so step one. Right now, as you're sitting there, all those tiny proton magnets in your body are pointing in completely random directions. It's total chaos. They're all just doing their own thing. But the moment you slide into that MRI machine, its super powerful magnet completely changes the game. All of a sudden, billions of those protons snap to attention, and they all align with that magnetic field, just like a bunch of compass needles all pointing north. It creates order out of all that chaos. And now for the really clever bit. The machine sends in a very quick pulse of radio waves. This pulse is just strong enough to knock those aligned protons sideways. Then the pulse stops, and the protons naturally try to snap back into alignment. As they do, they release a tiny bit of energy, a little signal like an echo. And the MRI machine's whole job is to listen for that tiny echo. So let's just run through that master plan one more time, because this is the key. Step 1. The big magnet aligns all the protons. Step 2, a radio pulse comes in and tips them over. And step 3, the machine listens for the signal they send out as they relax. This simple process gets repeated over and over at lightning speed to build up that detailed picture. Now here's where it gets even smarter. The machine isn't just hearing a signal, it's listening to how that signal behaves. See, different tissues in your body, like fat versus muscle, have different amounts of water, and that changes how fast their protons relax. By measuring how quickly they realign, that's called T1 relaxation, we can map out the body's anatomy in incredible detail. Or we can measure how quickly they get out of sync with each other. That's T2 relaxation, which is amazing for spotting when something's wrong, like an injury or disease. And what this all means is that MRI isn't just one kind of picture. It's this incredibly flexible platform for looking at the body in all sorts of different ways, from its basic structure to how it works, and even how it's wired together. So first, you have your standard structural MRI, or SMRI. You can think of this as a really high-resolution anatomical photograph. It gives us a beautiful, static map of your body's tissues, their shapes, and their sizes. But then you have functional MRI, or fMRI. And this is where things get really dynamic. If SMRI is a photo, MRI is basically a movie. It tracks changes in blood flow, because when a part of your brain is working hard, it needs more oxygen-rich blood. So fMRI can literally show us which parts of the brain are lighting up when you're thinking or seeing or feeling something. And then there's this, which is maybe the most mind-bending of all, diffusion tensor imaging, or DTI. This technique actually maps the brain's highways, the big bundles of nerve fibers that connect everything. It does this by tracking how water molecules move along those pathways. It's given us this incredible view of the brain's wiring diagram.
So all these echoes and signals, they do a lot more than just create pretty pictures. They're converted into mountains of rich data that give us these profound insights into our health.
For instance, a structural MRI scan can be processed by a computer to measure things with unbelievable precision.
Scientists can calculate stuff like the average thickness of the brain's cortex in different regions, right down to fractions of a millimeter. And having that kind of data allows them to track things like brain development, the effects of aging, or the progression of a disease.
So, why does all of this matter so much? Well, at the end of the day, this amazing technology gives doctors a safe, totally non-invasive window into the human body. It's absolutely crucial for diagnosing everything from a torn ACL to a brain tumor. And for scientists, it's a game-changing tool for understanding the most complex object we know of, our own brain.
You know, when you think about it, going from tiny spinning protons to these detailed maps of our inner world is just a breathtaking achievement. It really makes you wonder, as we get even better at translating the laws of physics into pictures, what other deep mysteries of the human body are we going to solve next?